Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do something very different, and that is going to be a setup guide for playing World of Warcraft on the Steam Deck. So I'm a Steam Deck owner and have been for a number of years now. I absolutely love it. I love playing games on it. I love taking it traveling, everything like that. But I am a World of Warcraft player, and World of Warcraft is not on Steam, so you have to do a little bit of a workaround to get it going, which is the purpose of this video. But this video also is relevant for any game on Battle.net. Battle.net is expanding its seems. Different games are getting on there now that aren't just Blizzard games, so if you do want to install Battle.net, this is going to be a guide for that as well. But before we jump into the guide, I do want to give a quick shout out to my stream. If you want to check me out on Twitch, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM, streaming World of Warcraft and things like that. So if you want to check me out, I'll leave a link down below. Right, so let's begin the guide by installing Battle.net. So first and foremost, we need to turn on our Steam Deck. Once it's on, you'll see that it's on the kind of Steam OS interface, and what we want to do here is press the Steam button and go to power, and then select switch to desktop. If you've never used the desktop mode before, you can simply just move the mouse with the right hand trackpad, and then the R2 and L2 are kind of the clicks, or you can just press down on the trackpad. So what we want to do here is head over to our browser, Firefox, which is probably down in the bottom. And once that opens, we want to head over to the address bar and click it. Pressing Steam and X will open up the keyboard. And if the keyboard isn't opening, it's probably because Steam isn't open on desktop mode. So just make sure that Steam is open, and that will open up the on-screen keyboard. And then we just want to type in the words Battle.net into the search and then search. Then we want to close the keyboard and head over to the Battle.net website and click the Download Battle.net button on the top right, and that should start the download for the launcher. Now, once it's downloaded, you can actually click the folder icon to open the location of this file, or normally it's just in your Downloads folder in the file browser. Once you've found the Battle.net install file, you want to right-click it using L2 and click Add to Steam. We can now close all these windows and then open Steam back up in desktop mode. Then you want to head over to your game library, and you'll see Battle.net set up as one of the games listed on there. You want to select it, and then on the right hand side there'll be a cog icon. You just want to click the cog there and select properties. Inside properties, you want to select compatibility, and then the option for forcing the Steam Play tool, select that, and then there'll be a drop down. On this drop down, we want to find Proton Experimental. Once that's all done, we can just close this window and then press play, and this will start the setup process. Now, what you'll notice here is your mouse actually will stop working. So to get that working again, you just want to hold the Steam button and then use the trackpad. This is going to be something you might need to do a few times if the trackpad does stop working when things are open. So yeah, just holding down the Steam button and then use the trackpad, and that should get it going. What you want to do next is just select the language and then wait for it to download. It'll then ask where you want to install it. I find it way easier here just to put it in the downloads folder, but you can put it wherever you want. To find that downloads folder, you want to click the change button. You want to select the folder with the // go to Home, Deck, and then Downloads, and then select Folder. And once you've done that, don't forget to uncheck Launch Battle.net when your computer starts, press Continue, and the installation should start for the launcher. Once it's done, it'll open up the Battle.net login window, and you just want to close that and then stop the game on Steam. From there, we want to open up our file browser once again and head over to the folder where it's downloaded. In this case, it'll be the Downloads folder. You can get to that on the left-hand side. Open up the new Battle.net folder and right-click battlenet.exe, and once again, add it to Steam. Then open up Steam on desktop mode and head over to the new Battle.net exe game, and then once again, we want to click the cog on the right-hand side, head back into Properties, head back into Compatibility. Once again, we want to force the Steam Play tool, and then once again, we need to select Proton Experimental and then close it. After all that, just close all of those windows and then click the Return to Gaming Mode icon on the desktop. When you enter the Steam OS, you'll now see that the Battle.net exe on the front of the screen, and you want to select that and press play. This will probably make your screen go a bit weird, but eventually it will open up the login prompt for Battle.net. You just want to enter your login details here. Once again, if you don't have a mouse, just hold down the Steam button, and that should bring your trackpad back. Once you've entered your details, don't forget to select the Keep Me Logged In button, and then press Login. It might scan for games, but yeah, just select Done when it's done that, and then just close all the random like tutorials and things like that, and now you have Battle.net on your Steam Deck. So if you just want to have Battle.net on your Steam Deck, that's how you do that. So it's fairly simple. Now, let's get into the installing World of Warcraft part. So from here, we want to close the game by pressing the Steam button and exit, and then head back to the desktop mode once again by going to power and then switch to desktop. Then we want to open up Steam in desktop mode, go to your library, and then select the Battle.net exe and press play. And this should open up Battle.net in desktop mode. So now we want to install games. So if your desired game is World of Warcraft, Retail, or Classic, then simply just select WoW and press the install button as you normally would. Now, this is where you're actually going to get a choice to where it installs. Now, World of Warcraft Retail is absolutely huge, so if you don't want to put it on your kind of internal memory, you can put it on a SD card. If you want to find your SD card that you have installed, it's a little bit of a rigmarole, but essentially where you want to head is the folder with the / and then the folder run, and then inside that run folder will be another folder called media, and then your SD card should be listed in there. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to stick it in the downloads folder so it doesn't get lost. Once that's done, you just want to select install, and as said, if it is Retail WoW, it's going to take a long time to download. If it's Classic, it's going to be super quick, but yeah, that's going to install World of Warcraft, and then World of Warcraft will be installed on your Steam Deck. Now, if you really want to, you can just play WoW like this. Obviously, it's not going to be optimal, so we're going to need an add-on to make this just a much better experience when playing with a controller. So for the sake of this guide, we're going to use CurseForge, but I know other people use WoWup and things like that. I'm not so familiar with it, so we're just going to use CurseForge for this guide. So yeah, stick with me on this one. So now we want to head back to the browser, and in the address bar, search CurseForge. Select the CurseForge website, and at the top of the website, there'll be a button that says Get the CurseForge app. Now, there is actually a Linux version for this, which is great because the Steam Deck runs on Linux, so there'll be a button there that says Download.AppImage. We want to select that, and that will start the download. Once that's complete, we want to open the folder and extract the files. Once that's extracted, likely in the downloads folder, this will give you a new file called curseforge.appimage, and this is going to be kind of how you access CurseForge. So select this file and CurseForge should pop up. From there, you want to select World of Warcraft and then locate game and scan now. This will scan the entire Steam Deck for the installation that we've just done, and hopefully it will find it. If it doesn't find it, you will need to point it in the right direction, but for the most part, it will likely find your installation that you've just done. Now, once it's found that, you want to head over to the search bar and type in the words console port or just console or something like that, and you'll see the console port add-on on that list, and you just want to press the install button and that will install the add-on. And if you ever want to install any other add-ons, you simply just run CurseForge from that .appimage file. That will just open up CurseForge and it will have all your settings that you just set up. So yeah, that's kind of the basics of that. Now, what I want to do now is kind of a thing that I like to do is just to make it look nicer. So we're going to customize the install for Battle.net and World of Warcraft. So what we want to do is head to Steam on the desktop mode and find the Battle.net exe in your library. We want to click the cog once again and select properties. Now, what we want to do here is rename it to whatever we like. If you want to keep it as Battle.net, you could tidy up the naming here and just call it Battle.net. If you want to call it World of Warcraft, you can just rename it to World of Warcraft. Once you're done, you want to close that window. And now we want to head into the browser once more, go to the address bar and type in the word Steam Grid, and this should bring up a website called Steam Grid DB. Now in the search bar there, you want to search the game you want it to show. In this case, it's going to be World of Warcraft, and this will bring up a bunch of different options for art we can use. What you want to do next is find the one that you like, and when you hover over it, it should have like a plus button of something like that that says apply with Boop. So find the one you like, click the apply with Boop button. This will bring up a list of non-Steam games you have on your Battle.net, and the option for World of Warcraft or Battle.net or whatever you called it will be there. Once that's selected and done, you can close the browser, you can close Steam and return to game mode. When you return to the SteamOS, you'll see a very nice looking icon, hopefully. And yeah, this is your kind of install for Battle.net and World of Warcraft. So once you select that and press play, this will obviously open up the Battle.net launcher. This will automatically log you in and bring you to the Battle.net launcher. Don't forget to hold the Steam button and the trackpad and press play on World of Warcraft. This should open up World of Warcraft. If it's the first time, it will probably play the cinematic, which you could try and skip with the keyboard or something like that. It was kind of a bit of a mess, but yeah, managed to skip that. It won't come up every time, just the first time. And for the sake of this guide, we're going to create a new character, and he's called Deckface. Yes, Deckface. So once we've logged into this character, and because we've installed the console port add-on, it's going to give us a prompt to ask us what device we're on. And obviously here, you want to select the Steam Deck. Just go through the options here and then press close, and that's kind of it. You can now move around your character. It's kind of intuitive, but it will take a little bit of getting used to. But console port is super customizable. You can customize all the abilities and things like that. I recommend going through the menus and just kind of learning it, maybe finding like some online guides on how to use console port, because there is quite a lot here, but kind of the more you use it, the more you're going to understand, and you're just going to get that muscle memory of playing World of Warcraft with a controller. And it's super impressive. So shout out to the console port add-on developers for just making an incredible add-on. It's very, very cool. Like, I love this ring thing you can bring up to just select like your bags and things like that. Fantastic. So yeah, that's actually the end of the guide. Now, the reason I was doing this is because in 11.1.7, we get a one-button kind of damage rotation, so definitely playing on controller and on the Steam Deck is going to be incredible, because you will just have a one button to do your damaging rotation, and then the other buttons could be used for like interrupt, speed button, mount, etc. So definitely going to be a good time to kind of start playing with a controller or on the Steam Deck or any other thing. You have like the ROG Ally, things like that. You have the new Xbox One coming out, which, yeah, will also support this. So yeah, there we go, guys. That is how to play World of Warcraft and other Battle.net games on your Steam Deck. Let me know down below if you have any tips or tricks or anything I missed out in this guide. I would love to hear about it. This is kind of the way I did it. Maybe there was an easier way to do it. Let me know down below. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter, MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, War Within, 11.2 PTR, all that good stuff, guys, over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.